Happy Saturday. This is Sherry for Style Tips with Sherry, and on today's episode, I am bringing you a subject that we have never tackled before, and it is what to wear on a date after the divorce is final, or after your husband has passed away, or maybe you're aging and you haven't really dated in a really long time and you think, well, now is the time to get back out there. Or maybe you're married. Married girls, don't go away. Maybe you're married and you're thinking, well, should I really dress up for date night? Well, today you are going to find out what the topic is all about, and we're going to have some fun because I have a fabulous guest. I say that every week, don't I? But my guests are fabulous. Her name is Barb Roose. She's an author and a writer, and I know you're going to love her. So let's just get right to the interview. Well, Barb, I am so happy that you're here. We've been friends for a couple of years, and oh, you guys, you're going to love Barb, and I love you, Barb. So could you tell them just a little bit about you before we kick this thing off?
Well, first, you are one of my dear besties. And so that's the first thing I want ladies to know, because, when we do interviews with each other, we always say my friend, but you are truly one of my friends. And so I want to say hello to everyone out there. I am a speaker and author, and I love helping women live beautifully, strong, and courageous. And I am a mom of 3 adult kids living here in Northwest Ohio. And I spend most of my days writing. And these days, I spend a lot of time on Zoom phone calls, whether it's coaching, teaching, encouraging, or doing Facebook Lives. I have a Better Together Facebook Live show as well. But again, it's just to equip women to live beautifully, strong, and courageous, no matter where they're at in life.
Well, you are one of my besties too. And it is true. I hear a lot of people say, this is my friend. And it gets so old. Like, how can she really be your friend? Like, I hear it all the time. I want to introduce you to my friend, my good friend. And I'm like, are you really? Well, I can assure you who are watching, Barb and I really are good friends. And oh my goodness, we love each other. Really, we do love each other. And so, Barb, I know this is a difficult topic, and there are women who are watching who have been through divorce, who possibly, maybe they've been widowed, or maybe there's just something going on in their life that they never did marry, but they're now back on the dating scene. And so I wanted to come to you for this topic because I know that you just went through a really hard season of divorce, and you've come out of it in such a beautiful way and such a shining example to women everywhere. Can you tell us where you were and where you are now and how you got here? Because now you're at this end, now you are about to embark on the dating scene. And so we're going to talk about that, girls, on what to wear on dates. But I want you to get a little background first with Barb. So take it away.
Well, Sherry, thank you. This is a hard topic, but what I have discovered is, for whatever reason, there is just a grace that I have that I'm thankful that I can talk about this topic, because when it comes to, especially those of us who are Christians, who consider ourselves Christ followers, I know that for many women, it feels like a taboo topic, whether you are married or whether you're single again, with or without kids. When we don't fit into that Christian box of being a married woman with children, sometimes we don't always feel like we belong. For me, I was married for a very long time. And on the day I got married, I thought I would be married forever. I saw myself dancing with my husband at my kids' weddings. I thought we would be celebrating our 50th anniversary together. And that's not how things went. And so after 26 years of marriage, my spouse decided he no longer wanted to be married. There was a contributing significant addiction issue that led to him leaving our marriage. And we were officially married for 27 years. The divorce became final in November of 2019. And there were 3 marriage separations because of the addiction issue. And so what started out being a marriage that looked like, for most people, that was just wonderful. And it was wonderful for a long time. And then there was about a decade of a lot of pain, a lot of loss, and yet a lot of me being able to see where God showed up in spaces, and he did things inside of me that I am so grateful for today.
Well, that's amazing. And I think what happens, you touched on something where you said that, you didn't lose yourself. And that is, and I don't know if you said it in those exact words, but how did you come out? Like what was it that, that just made you realize, you know what, I'm going to be okay? Because I think this could be encouraging to a lot of women who are listening.
Well, and I want it to be encouraging. And I don't want a woman today, if you're listening today and you are in the midst of whatever that transition is, and you're looking at me and you're like, she looks like she got it all together, it must not have hurt. Sherry has been there. She has seen me on the worst days where I could not stop crying. And so I do not want to leave with you with the impression that this was been a walk in a park. It was devastating. There was a stage during the divorce that I really fell apart. And it was after the first divorce hearing, and I lost the ability to speak for 3 days. And I'm a speaker and author, but everything was so painful that it just, whatever reason, my body just said, you can't speak. And it was during that time where I really struggled with losing my identity as being a married woman. I also became an empty nester at that point as well. And so it was just this double punch. Then I began asking myself all of the questions. Would anyone ever find me beautiful again? Would anyone ever want me again? What if I stay single the rest of my life? And then what happened that started changing the journey was a conversation that I had with our friend Sherry. I asked Sherry if I could give her a call, and she was on a 6-hour drive to a speaking event 2 weeks after that divorce hearing. And Sherry, you and I had this long conversation, and during it, you said, Barb, you should pray and ask God for your new name. And so I sat down and I began journaling, and I began praying, God, give me a new name. And what God didn't give me was a new name, but he gave me a new identity statement. And we'll talk about that in a bit, but what that resulted in was me being able to stand up, look myself in the mirror. And that statement is, I am God's beautiful, lovable, capable daughter. I am confident in Christ and worthy of God's best. And I wrote that statement down. I began to repeat it to myself every day. And again, the net result was, as I began dating again, and I have one online dating app. As attention began coming my way again, I was not desperate for the first guy that seemed to show interest. I no longer I said, I do not need to convince a man that he wants to be with me. He has to convince me that he is worthy of me. And on top of that, if there is a special someone or was a special someone, I did not need to cling to him like he was the only blessing that God had for me. And so that identity statement has allowed me to show up as my best in this area of dating in my life.
Oh my goodness. All right, you guys. This was supposed to be about style and what to wear on dates, and it is. But there are some of you that just got preached to, and that's what you needed to hear. That, my friend, whoever is out there watching this right now, and you may be in this space and you're thinking, why am I clinging to this guy who is not good to me, who doesn't compliment me, who doesn't, share the same, whatever it is in your life? I hope that helped you. I hope that preached to you right then, because you are worthy and you are beautiful, just like Barb, just like me, just like every woman out there that God made and didn't make a mistake with. So I pray that that preached to you. But now let's move to the outfits. And now that Barb, go ahead. Go.
Before we do that, the reason why I wanted to share that up front is because that mindset informs how we behave when we are out on a date. And so one of the things I told Sherry is, for me, that mindset's important, because I don't want to put things on a menu when I'm out with a guy. I don't want to put things on a menu that it's not time for me to serve up until that man is proven that he is worthy of being with me. And so that mindset allows me to carry myself with strength and dignity. It allows me to be charming and effervescent, and not from a place of fear and desperation. We do not want to date out of desperation.
Oh my goodness, that was so good. That is so good. So if you have watched my channel for any amount of time or been around Fashion Meets Faith for any amount of time, I talk about a style statement, developing a signature style statement for yourself. And before Barb came on here today, I asked her to please work on that worksheet, like go to my website, download that. We've talked about it before, but I didn't know if she ever actually had picked words. And what happens is when you choose words, 2 adjectives and a noun, and the reason that you choose these words is because it's the way you want to show up in the world for others. So when others, and for yourself, but when you pick these words, it helps everything with how you dress and how you act and how you speak and all of that. And so when I was talking to Barb, we were actually, and I honestly had just like thought about this morning. I was like, wait a minute, you know what? The signature style statement works for dating too. And I wasn't sure if you would end up having 2 style statements, like one to show up in life and then one to show up for dating. But then the more I thought about it in separate, and Barb thought about it on her end, I thought about it, and we both came back to the table and we're like, you know what? This style statement has to be one that encompasses everything, because you can't be authentic. You can't be authentically you if you show up in life one way, thinking of yourself, with these terms, and then you pick other words to show up on a date. There's no authenticity there. And so, Barb, tell us your signature style statement words. Now, we already know the identity words, the phrase that you came up with, but let's talk about your signature style words and how they relate to the outfits we are about to see.
Well, first, I want to say I've known about your signature style sheet for a while. And if you haven't done this, this is so powerful. For me, the adjectives that I chose, the first is gracious. And I chose gracious because I'm a Bible teacher at heart. I primarily write Bible studies, but graciousness is about being other-centered, about not expecting people to be perfect, but not expecting myself to be perfect either. So I chose gracious, and then I also chose interesting. That was my other adjective. I like to be interesting in how I dress. I like to be an interesting person, explore, have different experiences in life. I'm a big experiences person. And then the noun I chose was encourager. I love being in places where I can cheer for folks, wherever they're at in life. I can stand next to someone, whether they're at the high end of things or at the low end of things, and just let them know that I am there for them. So gracious, interesting, encourager. That is my signature style statement.
I love it. All right. So that then translates, ladies, into what you're going to put on to wear to your date. So, and ladies, if you're married, you still want to have date nights. So this is for you too. So don't go away. Don't be thinking, I know some of you are like, I've got to send this video to, my friend who's going through divorce, or, but it might be for you too, to get some ideas for your date nights for your husbands, because we don't want to just get all slack in that area either, right? So, all right, so let's talk about the first outfit. And so let's take a look at this. And so it's going to be on the screen and everybody can see this now. All right, so the first outfit that you have on is a pair of linen slacks. Are they linen pants or linen pants? You actually have the sweater on that you have on right now in our video, but tell us about this outfit, how it relates to your style words, and where you might go in an outfit like this.
And so this outfit, the color of the sweater is actually because I took your color test. When I changed my hair color a few months back, I used to be a clear, and then now I am a deep. And so this sweater that I have on reflects that. And so I wanted a pop of interesting color. It's a simple white tank top and a simple pair of linen pants. And so that is, for me, a first meeting outfit. When we are meeting people, especially if you are doing online dating, that very first time you're meeting a guy in person, that's not a date, that's a meeting. And so I wanted to have that pop of color, to have that easy breezy look, so that when I show up to meet someone and I begin asking him questions about his life to find out if he's someone that I want to be involved in, I want to be able to look classy and elegant, but yet I don't want to be fussing with my clothes. I don't want to be self-conscious because things are pulling or too tight so like, ladies, do yourself a favor and wear clothes that you're not self-conscious. It's hard to bring your best self when you're self-conscious in what you're wearing. So that outfit, easy, breezy, but yet still interesting, and still shows off enough shape where the guy knows I'm not dead.
I love it. The guy knows she's not dead. Oh my goodness. Okay, so speaking of you not being dead in the body department, you are a larger busted woman and you have a curvy figure. You have a fabulous figure, by the way. I like a tiny waist, and I mean, fabulous figure. So talk to us about not not showing up where the guy just might be interested in what you got going on there. So how do you avoid that when you're built like you are?
Well, and I would love to speak to two classes of ladies. One of my Bible studies is titled Beautiful Already, Reclaiming God's Perspective on Beauty. And for us as women, especially as Christian women, we fall into one of two camps. The one camp is look like an Eskimo, and the other camp is look like Jezebel, who says she loves Jesus. And so for those of you who are in the Eskimo camp, I remember my friend Amy telling me, Barb, you love Jesus, but it's okay to show a little skin. So one of the things that I've decided is when I get dressed and I'm going out with someone, that I am going to accentuate my best feature in either my arms or my legs, but not my chest. Because what I've discovered is because I am on the larger end of things, and ladies, I'm 48 years old. As of this taping, I have a 27, a 24, and a 19. I also want to set a great example for my daughters. But I want to pick the body feature that I love the best. I love my arms and I love my legs. But on a date, I'm only going to show one of those two. I am not going to show off all of my best features. If your rack, ladies, is your best feature, you can make sure that it is shown to its best advantage without putting it all out on the table. Leave, like grandma used to say, leave a little something to the imagination. But I want to make sure that if I'm wearing something on a neckline, that they're going to be evident, so I do not have to like flash them.
I love that so much. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's look at the next outfit, which is this fabulous cute dress. And it is sleeveless, so you are showing arms and you're showing legs, but there's all of this is covered up. And so that's okay. Here's the thing I want to say to you ladies who are watching. Barb nailed it on the head when she said she's going to show off, either her arms or her legs, or, not here. Here's the thing. When you're dressing and when you're putting an outfit together, if one area is super exposed on, let's say your top is super exposed, you're showing a lot of skin up here, then you want to cover the bottom. You'll see that in one of the outfits that Barb has on. I think it's going to be our next outfit that you'll see, where she's got kind of a halter top on. And so up here is exposed, then she's got long jeans on. You don't want to wear a super exposed top and a mini skirt, because then you just look like a sex pot. I mean, let's just face it. And you don't look classy. And so there's no shame in showing skin, but you only want to do one part of it. I personally don't consider arms skin. So when I see, I mean, they are, but when I saw you in the dress, to me, you were covered up because you created that V-neck with your chunky necklace. And so there was no exposure here. And that's what I'm talking about. So showing arms and legs, a sleeveless top and a dress is great. But let's talk about the dress. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, the dress itself, as we will see in the video, it does have cap sleeves. This one does have cap sleeves on it. So it's a little less arm, but there's definitely more leg showing.
Absolutely, and you have great legs. So tell us about that dress. Talk us about that dress. Tell us about that dress, because it's fabulous. You've got great legs, and I noticed that you've got the heels on, and you're tall. So let's just go into that. Talk to us about that outfit and where you would wear that.
Well, that is an outfit that I purchased actually specifically for dates. For those of us who haven't dated much, or we've been out of the dating scene, I believe that it's wise to have a few special outfits just for dates. For me, it reminds me that I want to create space and be intentional about dating, not just, well, if something comes up going, and then running out and spending too much money, or that I feel desperate. So I want to be intentional. That outfit itself, I love the way that the linen looks. It has interest because of the fringe on it and the way that the hemline is cut. And it also, again, it's comfortable, but it's also very classy. So that's something that I would say that's an outfit that I only wear on a special night out. And I'm not worried about having lots of outfits, because I'm just not, but I do want to have a few spectacular ones. I also believe in having a great purse. And so you'll see in that little video clip, there's a really great purse there that matches my shoes. I'm a heel girl, so you have permission to wear flats if you're more comfortable. I'm more comfortable in heels, but again, I'm picking what I'm comfortable in so that I can show up as my best self, so that I can be gracious and interesting and an encourager and not fixated on how I look.
And ladies, if you noticed, her noun is encourager. So that really means that she's others focused. So when she's going on the date, she's not all caught up in who she is. She's already has her pre-planned outfits. She's going to be encouraging that person that she's meeting with, which is so great because it doesn't become all about her then. Have you ever been with somebody and you say something and they go, oh yeah, that happened to me too, blah, 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 blah. I could pull my hair out when that happens, but it's one of my pet peeves. I'm like, just keep your stories to yourself, people. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's not an encouraging thing to do. Somebody's husband just died, and then somebody else says, oh, my husband just died, or my husband died 10 years ago. I know what you feel. No, nobody knows what you're feeling except because that person who's gone through it. So that's a soapbox for another day. Probably not on here, but I'm done. Okay, where are you wearing that to?
I'm sorry?
Where are you wearing that to?
That is for a lovely night out, and it's clearly a summertime dress. Or something late summertime. For me, that's a dress at a nice restaurant that has linen napkins that requires a reservation. For me, it's the heels that add a little bit of elegance to it, the purse as well as the jewelry. It can definitely be more of a casual dress as well, but I just love the swing style to it that gives it. And for me, I think that I can work it as something a little bit more Friday, Saturday night chic.
I love it. When you purchased your date clothes, did you specifically go on a shopping trip and say, I'm going to be looking for these particular outfits today? Was it a purposeful shopping trip?
It was a purposeful shopping trip because my closet when I realized that, I thought, well, maybe I do want to go on some dates. What I realized was that my closet, because of how things were going towards the end of my marriage, date night had gone away. Date night is important, friends, but I had work clothes and I had casual clothes, but I didn't have clothes that would be specific reflecting that part of my life. So I was intentional in that shopping trip.
Awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the next outfit, which really is one of my favorites. And when you sent me pictures ahead of time for me to look at and say, would this work? Would this work? One of them, I think, yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking it was those jeans. Oh my goodness, I love those jeans so much. And so, but I think this outfit is just stunning. So talk us through it.
This one, so that top, I actually got the top at Kohl's on clearance. Again, I was looking for a top that would be great for if I went boating. I mean, Corona makes it hard, but that's really just it's just an after work top. If I wanted to meet someone for just to be able to sit and talk and have a conversation, or at a coffee shop, or going to a picnic with friends. So I wanted it to be casual. I'm a disaster with all white. So I didn't want to be self-conscious of spilling anything on myself. So it has a little pattern in it. The jeans have a little distressed in them because I wanted them to be interesting, but I don't want holes everywhere because that's just not my style. And then again, I'm comfortable in heels. So that's why I have a heel on. I just feel that heels make me feel like a woman. And then that little red bag, if I'm out with someone, I don't want to have to worry about where am I going to put my purse? What am I doing? I can just put it around me, keep my hands free. Again, the less things that I'm self-conscious about, the more that I can listen, the more that I can make sure that the guy who's across from me, it's somebody that I want in my life. Again, not me trying to make him like me. I need to make sure that I like him.
No truer words or better words were ever said. That's fantastic. All right. And then the last outfit, you weren't too sure on this last outfit. You weren't just sure. So tell us why you weren't sure. And then I think we came up with the reason why. So talk us through from beginning to end on that.
Well, you and I both love a duster. We are duster queens between the two of us. And I know that there are some women who go, but I'm not tall, I can't wear a duster. And that's why I love the wisdom that you share with women about how to make a longer kimono work according to a woman's height. You and I are able to wear the long duster. So that duster is paired with a pair of ankle pants that I love. I'm a fan of ankle pants in the summer. I don't like wearing capris. It's just not something that I just don't like capris for me. But those ankle pants fit me really well. I'm wearing a white tank, much to my chagrin, a fun necklace. But what I didn't love about the outfit is it really didn't have a high interest factor to me. It felt really basic. It didn't really have anything that had a pop to it. And then you and I discovered some of the other parts of the outfit, just body-wise, why it didn't really show off my ex body to the appropriate advantage.
Exactly. And so one of the things that we came up with was that is when I first saw the outfit, my eye went straight to her stomach. Now, Barb doesn't have a big stomach, hardly any at all. But what she realized is she hadn't belted it very securely. And so it was sort of hanging there, and it made her tummy appear, like it made her midsection just not appear as flattering as it could have. So one of the things I recommended is either tuck the top in tighter and then go ahead and snug the belt more, button it up a little bit more, or wear the top out and then take the belt and do it halfway slung, like over, and it would just make it more interesting, which is one of her style words. And so there is, just a tip on that. But Barb, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, where can they find you? Because I know they're going to want to find you because you're just fabulous.
Well, thank you. And I love just that you said yes to this topic. And so, for all of my friends out there who are single, I hope that you felt seen and heard. For my married friends out there, honey, I love you guys as well. And I hope that maybe this inspires you to make it just a little bit spicier for your hubby on the next date. You can visit me at my online home at barbroose.com. And I have a special page for single ladies, a downloadable. So if you go to barbroose.com/single ladies, I have a free downloadable sheet there of some verses just for us single gals. And I've got an upcoming online course that'll be coming later in fall of 2020, just for women who've been through divorce.
Well, I know that was some really great information, and I hope that you will take it to heart and use it. And hey, are you on the wait list yet for my special VIP community that launches in September? Well, we already have a group. We've been hanging out together, like a few hundred of us for the last couple of years, but we are revamping to something really special. And on Thursday, September 3rd, we're having a kickoff party just for those on the wait list. It doesn't mean you have to join us, but it does mean that we're going to have something really special for you that night so you can hear all about it. And so make sure you get on the wait list over at my website, fashionmeetsfaith.com, click on VIP and get on that wait list. And until next week, I will see you then. Bye-bye.